Call to order the June 2nd Transportation Committee meeting. Been a long day already. Michael Mason is absent today. All other commissioners are present. Councilman Dempsey Lambert will lead us in the invocation.
Please stand. Bow. Lord, please give us the strength, wisdom to move our parish forward with transportation needs. Lord, we ask you please to look over the families that all have any problems with virus. Please make them well. We ask all these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment period. If you'd like to speak, please fill out a card. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. We don't have anything thus far, but we look forward to hearing some comments. Item number 4, committee chairman's report. I've got nothing to add other than that I know this is unusual, but we will have another meeting at our usual time on June 8th, I believe, is the proper date. We had some issues that came up that we wanted to have this meeting as soon as possible. Moving on, general business. Item 5A, acceptance of minutes of March 9th, 2020 meeting.
Motion, Mr. Chairman.
With motion.
Second.
By Councilman Cagliotti, a second by Councilman Wagisback. I wasn't sure who said it at first. These plexiglass play tricks on your ears, by the way. No objections? Passed. Item number 5B, department report. Mr. Turo, please.
Just wanted to explain that tonight's meeting, we're generally going to conduct our general business, what we've done the past month or so, because, it's been a little while since we've had a meeting. On Monday, we're going to reserve for HNTB to give an extensive report on the Move Ascension program, all the projects that are coming up. I will report tonight on the existing construction projects that we have, but they will give you a rundown of all the preliminary work that it takes for all the projects that we have in the works. And a summary will be included in your package for Monday. Monday will also include a presentation, hopefully if we can get the logistics done to where Kip Strauss, who works for HNTB, to give a presentation towards the master transportation plan. So that's what will be going on then. I'm going to give you a rundown of the construction that's going on. Let me move up here. John, if you would put the there you go. This is the there's not really fancy pictures, but I do have a rundown of the construction that's happening in the parish, both DOTD and Move Ascension. This one is LA 44. This is part of the 44 turn lane project that includes Bayou North Cease, Cantee Road, Highway 933, Highway 931, all of those intersections. This one is 44 at 931. The pavement is finished. It's not striped yet, and the dressing has not been done, but this is just a picture of LA 44 at that intersection, and it shows a through lane, a left turn lane, and a right turn lane. That's previously it just had a right turn lane, but you have left turn lanes at all approaches. So that one is progressing well. This is another part of that same DOTD project. This is on LA 621, Cantee Road. It will add a left turn lane on Cantee Road, both directions. It will also move the merge point for LA 44 northbound traffic. Currently, as soon as you leave the intersection, you have to neck down to one lane. With this project, we'll take that merge point several hundred feet further away from the intersection, so it'll make this safer, and it adds left turn lanes both directions. That project is, we do get updates from DOTD. It shows it to be about 80% complete. You know, they're concentrating now. There's some of the intersections to the north that are finished, like 933. They're concentrating now on LA 621's intersection. So
Mr. Chairman.
if you take it as a whole, it's about then.
Yes, Mr. Landry.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Joe, but can you explain Highway 44 from the car wash on Renday side, the traffic that's going towards Gonzales? You will have no turn lane there at the store, correct? Are you gonna have there will be a medium in the middle of this Highway 44, correct?
Like a raised,
Like a highs, right? Yeah, yeah.
to where you can't,
Where you can't make left-hand turns.
I know what you're saying. So if you pass the intersection and want to take a left into Rendays,
Right.
after you cross. Of course, the parking lot for Rendays is away from the intersection, so I don't know, to answer your question. I don't know how far that raised concrete median goes,
Okay.
because Rendays parking lot is a good ways away from the intersection. You know, the store is right at the intersection, so you do have to go a ways down before you can go anywhere on the left. If you follow what I'm saying, the store is like right at the intersection, and then they have a place for storage of materials and all that, and then you have a place that a car could actually get off.
Actually get into, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you having, you know, with the two schools right down Highway 621 Central and you know, it's a lot of traffic going
Right.
through there, so.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, it's, I know the thing that's really odd is that the store is so close. They took, I think that was before you had setbacks for the
Right.
buildings. The right-of-way is, man, almost at the front door of that
Sure.
business. It's right there.
Keep going. That's good.
This is the LA 22 at LA 70 roundabout. That one is progressing pretty well. It does include some J-turns on both sides of I-10 on LA 22. It shows to be about 75% complete. So they still have some work to do, certainly a lot of dressing to do, but you can see the roundabout itself is actually built now. So that one is going pretty well. The Bayou Man Shack Bridge, along with Bayou Francois Bridge, you know, is progressing. The Man Shack Bridge is going to be a while before it's complete. But I mean, you still have full capacity because you have a detour bridge that's in the works. But the Bayou Francois bridge is, the bridge itself is complete. They're working on the approach slabs. DOTD reports that this summer it should be back open.
Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Cagliari.
Sure, just a quick question. You talking about the one on Airline Highway?
Yes, Airline Highway just
by
south
the-
of Parish.
Okay, by the paint store.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. This is the infamous LA 42 project. You see this one is, this is the portion in between LA 73 and Airline Highway. It does have that raised concrete median to where you cannot take left turn lanes in between Airline Highway and LA 73 anymore. So that's, you know, an example of whenever they do that, it does restrict things for businesses. So that just, they're finally to where you can kind of see the layout. This is another shot on LA 44 that shows that 10-foot, they call it a shared use path to the right. This is facing east. So that would be on the south side is going to be a 10-foot shared use path, and then on the other side is a 6-foot sidewalk. But this is, it's going to be a 4-lane divided with left turn lanes and U-turns. So that just kind of gives you an idea. This is the Move Ascension projects. I was really hoping this picture would come out a little better. This actually is clearing done on the Roddy Road project between Bayou Narcisse Road and Canty Road. Somewhere in the middle of that tree is a fella that's sure he's properly strapped up, but he's cutting that tree down. So that's the before picture, and this is the after picture. This is right at Cobb's Mobile Home Park. So there was a lot of big trees taken out that area. So that's, that project is progressing along. They've got the majority of the trees taken down. They still have to grind stumps and dress everything out. This is the connector road that connects between the future new road between Ashland Road, LA 31, 32, 51, and St. Landry. They put in 2 full lifts of dirt. They got about one more lift of dirt, and then they have put in cross drains also, and they've dug a lot of the side ditches to where drainage should be pretty good there now. What they're doing now is hauling that final lift of dirt, and hopefully they can get that going. They've had pretty decent weather, so if they can get that going, then they can start hauling limestone and actually building the roadway. But we're still in the earthwork, which is very weather sensitive. The next ones are going to be the 3 turn lane projects. This one is the northernmost LA 73 turn lane project. LA 73 at Oakland Lane. Where that truck is at is going to be the future through lane going north towards Baton Rouge. It's going to have a left turn lane going to Oakland Lane. These 3 are about at the same stages. They're all in dirt work stages, laying pipe and all that. This is the one at Brown. So this is actually from the north facing south. Brown is to the left. So there will be a left turn lane to go into Brown. And then Brown itself will have 2 lanes, one for you to take a left, another one to take a right. This one is Henry Road, which is the one closest to Airline Highway. This picture is actually coming from Airline Highway. Again, you're going to have a left turn lane, and then Henry's going to have 2 lanes so that people can take left and rights. This is just another shot of Henry Road. Being a traffic guy, I mean, I thought their signs were really well placed and in good shape. Everything looked straight, which is a pleasant sight to see. You don't usually see that very much, but they did a good job of maintaining their signs. So
Who did that?
that one is Court Construction.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have any questions for Mr. Toro? May the record reflect, or the minutes reflect, that Councilman Mason is here.
Mr. Chairman, just on those 3 turn lanes, what's the projected date on those? Completion?
They're all about 30-35% complete. The total contract time was 90 days, and I believe we're about at day 30, something
Okay.
like that. So I don't think any of the 3 contractors are going to need all the time that's allocated. The one at Henry, now they were given 120 days. It's a little more work on the one at Henry.
Okay.
But they did start first, and they're progressing well, too.
Weather permit.
Yeah, it will be. Okay.
I wanted to also report on what our paving guys have been doing, especially since the virus. You know, the administration, allowed them to go back to work. You know, a lot of their work is outside, and they were able to stay separated and stay safe. Of course, they were all masked up as needed, but they did do a lot of really good work during this slow time, whenever we had so little traffic. Our paving crew, Mike Beck is the one that oversees that crew, along with Joey Broussard. They were able to pave, and I think that's shown as attachment C in your packet, and it shows over a dozen little short, sometimes dead-end roads, but fairly short roads that our guys were able to go out there. And it's not just, throwing asphalt on a roadway. You do have to prep them and lay everything out. So, I mean, what you see there, they've done, they did Reeves, Penny Duplessis, Two Row, Kirk Cunder, Old Perkins. They did Maurice Bourgeois, and in Maurice Bourgeois in particular, we got a lot of compliments because we got a good paving crew, and they when they get out there, they work, and they really do a good job. And I just want to recognize them that they do more than just pave, for sure, but they do a very good job of paving, and all that's in-house, so it's a pretty efficient operation, I think, on our end. That's what I got.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any questions? No questions?
You want me to go over just a quick synopsis of the rest of the report? It's
Yes,
just
please.
A real quick mention. The 2019 maintenance project, we are wrapping up task 1 and task 2. I have some balancing change orders and substantial completions for those a little bit later on in tonight's meeting. They just started task 3, which is widening the turnouts at Borough Road and William Ficklin / Tommy Moore. So they're going to try to help or better the alignment and widen out those radiuses. So that's what they're working on right now. But that's will be the last of last year's maintenance project. We will be bidding out our 2020 maintenance project coming up. Beyond that, I did include our pavement preservation updates that since they got restarted it was about March-ish, right when we went to the stay-at-home order, but they did get restarted, and they're gonna be wrapping up that work here within the next month or so. And I think that Joey mentioned the payment management group, which I like to repeat what he said. They really do get a lot done and make us look great. So I just want to mention that. Beyond that, Joey touched on all the state projects, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer what I can.
Any questions? Stacey, I'd just like to say a thank you to, I believe you were involved in it today, and Ron Savoy was involved in it today. I drove past William Ficklin, and I noticed they had a stop sign down. And there was people working, but there was no stop sign. The guy in front of me blew right through it because he probably wasn't familiar with the area. Could have been a terrible accident, but I notified y'all, and y'all got on it right away. And when I drove past by there, they had a sign up, just making it much safer. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, moving on to item number, 5C, approval of professional services contract between Ascension Parish Government and Gresham Smith
Aaron,
for traffic engineering services.
I did want to have
I apologize.
one more presentation.
Moving back to B, my fault.
That's all right. Jeff Burst is here, and he was just going to give a description of the CRPC funding for Move Ascension. So, he'll give a more extensive report on Monday, but just that part of the finances, I wanted him to give that explanation to you.
And you told me this literally 10 minutes ago, and I forgot, so I apologize.
We're related, though.
Yes. Mr. Burst. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much. Good evening, council members. I was updating the parish leadership the other evening on what we're doing to leverage the Move Ascension program to gain additional federal dollars to help extend the program and help add extra projects and have that extra in-source of federal dollars. And they thought it might be a good idea to maybe share that with y'all this evening because I think it's very worthwhile. Some time ago, several years back, the parish was awarded through the CRPC, Capital Region Planning Commission, a $9.3 million that goes towards Henry and Roddy. Okay, it's well before we started Move Ascension. Once we started Move Ascension, we felt that going through that DOTD elongated process would slow those vital corridors down, so we would fund those through Move Ascension and reallocate those dollars. In addition, in the 2017 to 2020, what they call the projects, we were able to submit stage zeros and applications on your behalf and secure an additional $7.5 million. So basically, we have combined federal dollars and our local state match, which council has already approved the match previously. We have just shy of $17.3 million, at which we're getting that at 20 cents on the dollar to put towards these projects. So working with the CRPC, I was able to prepare several stage zero reports, go through an environmental checklist, and get them approved to reallocate the original 9.3. So where it stands now is what we have is Duplessis widening from Airline to Highway 73. What we had in the original allocation, they added some money from that original 9.3 money to it. We have Germany Road from Airline back to Highway 44. Then part of the reallocation was a new roundabout, 3 new roundabouts along the Roddy corridor. That is at 621, 931, and 933. Three new roundabouts. In addition, part of the Move Ascension program, we had a roundabout at 929 in Parker. We were able to get the DOT to commit $1 million of their safety funds and reallocate an additional $500,000 of the CRPC monies to that roundabout. And that'll cover all of our construction costs now. So we're funding the pre-construction design and right-of-way map and acquisition, and they'll fund the rest of it. In addition, we had the roundabout at Roddy and Church Point. We were able to get DOT to commit $1 million in safety funds to that project as well, and an additional from CRPC, $600,000. So with all of that said, and all that, jockeying around to get the most bang for our buck for Move Ascension and Parish, using the DOT and federal CRPC monies, we still have about $3 million of federal to reallocate through Move Ascension or other projects. And I'm in talks with Parish staff and administration, and they're looking at 2 potential projects on the 73 corridor. DOT is taking, we looked at 3. The realignment of the intersection of 621 and 73. Joe was just at a Zoom meeting with the department, and we've had some conversation. They're going to take that over completely, where we don't have to invest any of our funds, and they're going to actually move on that now. Preserve the corridor so the roadway can't be bought up by developers. And then the other 2 projects were Connector Road, south of Seabro, connecting 73 and Bluff. We're already in talks with DOT on that, and that's something that we might be able to move forward on pre-construction, preserve the corridor, and then use that as possibly some soft match with DOT down the line. And the third and last would be a connector from 74 to Dutchtown High. That's already been studied, and DOT commissioned and paid for the study. Bucart Horn did the analysis. We have access to all that information, and that kind of gives us a leg up in that pre-construction effort, so those upfront costs might be reduced somewhat. That kind of sums up where we're at. Obviously, those other 2 projects on the 73 corridor aren't set in stone, but just in case, I've already begun preparing those stage zeros, and the CRPC is well aware of them, and it seems like those will be approved if we move forward.
Councilman Mason?
You said that the 73 to Bluff connection, whereabouts are you guys looking at for that connection? Can you give that information yet, or?
Well, the study looked at extending Mission Street. That was a viable option. The DOT Deputy Secretary kind of had another idea, and in a meeting, it kind of took a black mark slot, kind of drew a line that he would like to see. The exact tie-in is south of Mission, so the exact alignment hasn't been set in stone. The tie-in point is not set, but it looks like the Belsamont will not push forward.
Okay. And the goal is that to alleviate some of the traffic that is on Seabro Road right now?
That's correct,
Okay.
and Seabro is absolutely one of the next, and I'll get more into it on Mondays, one of the next projects we're looking to go to construction with. We've already bought all the right-of-way, it's completely 100% designed. Utilities were out there actually on Friday, Entergy, looking of how they're gonna relocate some of their poles, and then we're working with Atmos and the Baton Rouge Water to get their lines out the way. But as they're progressing, we're not gonna wait, because getting a project advertised, awarded, council approval, getting contracts, getting their bid and liability bonds in, takes time, where we want to then mobilize them out as quickly as possible. So we'll be running on parallel tracks with that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Cagliati.
Appreciate it. Hey, Jeff, thanks for coming. The good report. I'm sure everybody up here and everybody in the parish is glad to hear they're gonna get some relief around 73 and 74. From the interstate to 74 is almost a disaster. So any relief they can get, cross traffic to Bluff Road, improvements on 74, 73, it's gonna be well received. So thank you for your persistence in trying to get that accomplished.
Yes,
and
sir.
Joey, y'all as well. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Councilman Lambert.
Appreciate the, report.
Yes, sir.
The Parker Road at Highway 929, we had some problems with pipeline issue and different things. The school board, did you mention anything with them, a cost share, anything with that intersection?
As far as acquisition of the right-of-way,
Sure.
originally, it looked like we were gonna have some kind of a reduced cost share, then meeting with legal, and because they're a separate entity, we have to actually still follow the fair market value offer. But, they have been working real well with us on 930 and Henry, and they indicated, speaking with Chad Lynch and his team, that they would do the same thing on 929 Parker. Addressing your comment and concern about the pipeline, that was almost a game stopper way back. I've met multiple times with the pipeline companies. We've worked everything out. We've modified the design to miss the bends where we can't case, and they're already on board. And they told us that they're ready to go and move forward with their casing as soon as we acquire the right-of-way, and which we're acquiring it right now. So we expect, Shell Pipeline has already extended their casing on the pipelines on Roddy, the north segment and the south segment, and they're in line to do it on 929 and Parker as soon as we give them the go, and that's gonna be within the next couple of months.
Man, that is great. The other three, roundabouts at Highway 621, 931, and 933,
Yes, sir.
very much needed. And I'm glad that y'all, the CRPC, the monies that y'all are putting together here
Right,
to look at these intersections is greatly needed.
right.
The only other thing I would mention, I know you're trying to do something with these connector roads. It's about how much? 3 million that you have left over?
That would just be 3 million of the federal dollars from that original allocation. So unless we coordinate it and enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the DOTD, which they've indicated favorably that they would do so for some kind of cost share, we would fund the upfront design, right-of-way acquisition, and then some federal dollars could come, and then DOTD might come up with that gap,
Sure.
that funding gap.
I would most probably add, if you can add a few more, or get with Joe and them. I know there's other things that we need to be looking at, but, if any of these come to a stopping point, I mean, we could use this in other parts of the parish too, so I would try to get at least 3 more sites and look at them.
I do want to make mention of the 3 roundabouts you referred, 621, 931, and 933. They are already under design, all 3 of them.
Right.
We're shifting to leverage to fund all the construction, again, at 20 cents on the dollar, by moving these. But as we do that, it then goes to the pipeline where we have followed the DOTD process. That does inherently slow things down somewhat, but they have been working with us and we've gotten with their roundabout design group, and we've gotten it pretty much finally attuned, all the design consultants, because these are being designed by 3 different consulting firms, pretty much exactly the way they want to see it. So the first couple have been real slow getting through that process, but these have been pretty picked up.
Good news, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know that those roundabouts, originally, we had a lot of trouble getting those to move forward.
Yes.
It wasn't something that was ready to go, or we could get the approval for, and y'all have done a great job at getting those. If you would, the 621 and 73 realignment. Now, I know we talked a couple weeks back, and there was some potential that we're going to have to put up some money to buy the right of way for that. But I guess you and Mr. Turo have gotten with the state, and they're going to handle that?
Joey had a meeting with them, and I'll let him tell you what.
Yeah, I just, I kind of lucked up and got in the middle of an internal DOTD Zoom meeting on that, and they'd already made the decision. I mean, we were kind of, me and Jeff were both, not really sure they made that decision, but I found out at that meeting they're going to be doing everything on it. They did ask us to do the traffic impact study on it, so apparently, all the other areas, they have personnel with the time to do that, or at least they've been directed to put that effort across. But the traffic impact study, we may still have to do ourselves to keep the ball rolling on it. The traffic impact study involves some traffic counts, and there's possibly some ways to get around having to redo that, because right now that's an impossibility to do an effective traffic count, and traffic guys understand that better than I do, but you can't do that while school's not in session. So, that would really hurt if we had to follow that rule. So we're hoping that there's been some traffic studies already in the area that would prevent that delay.
Okay, well, great job doing that. I mean, keeping us up to date on that, because that's a big money saver. I guess it kind of moves us. One of our next items is related to that. But Mr. Burst, anybody else have any questions? First of all, thank you. Anybody have any questions? No, great job.
Thank you.
Some exciting news there. Got a lot going on.
The people in Dutchtown are going to be happy.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, a lot of people travel through Dutchtown to get to work, get to school. Moving on to item number 5C for the second time, so I don't screw it up again. Approval of professional services contract between Ascension Parish Government and Gresham Smith for traffic engineering services, not to exceed $49,500. This is one of the reasons we had this meeting tonight. This was an urgent matter that was in part, as my understanding, tied into getting the traffic study done for 621 and 73. And also there's a subdivision that needs to be able to sell some lots, and the administration wanted to make sure we move forward on that also. Do we have any questions on that?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any objection? I'm going to object. It's going to move forward, but I'd like to just go to the full council, because I just don't like seeing these $49,000 contracts.
It's up to 49.
Up to, and believe me, we've railed against that for years. No further objections. It moves for the full council. Thank you. Moving on to item D, approval of superseding entity state agreement for state project number H.006459, roundabout at Church Point Road and Roddy Road. Do we have any questions on that, or do we need explanation?
Motion?
We have a motion by Councilman Mason and a second by Councilman Cagnolati. Any objections? Any discussion? None, so moved. Item 5E, ordinance requesting authority to be granted to the parish president to acquire the right-of-way required to construct the Germany Road widening US 61 through LA 44 project.
Motion.
We have a motion by Councilman Mason
Second.
and a second by Councilman Wagusback. Any discussion? Any objection? None, so moved. Item 5F, approval of entity state agreement for state project number H.013793, Germany Road widening, US 61 through LA 44.
Motion.
We have a motion by Councilman Mason, a second by Councilman Cagnolati. Any discussion? Any objections?
I would like to say I'm very excited about this. Driving that road multiple times a day. I'm very excited about this.
We've got a lot of good things going on in the parish
Yes,
right
we
now.
do.
It's exciting. Any objections? None? So moved. Item, jump around to, okay. Item G, 5G, ordinance requesting authority to be granted to the parish president to acquire the right-of-way required to construct the Duplessis Road widening US 61 through LA 73 project.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by, I think, Councilman Mason, a second by Councilman Wagasback. Any discussion? Any objections? None, so moved. Item 5F, approval of change order TO-01-03, 2019 asphalt overlay task 1 balancing change order. Tacey Rabelais.
This is the, just that, a balancing change order that where we're, reducing the task order by, $1,398 to balance it to 0.
Motion.
We have a motion by Councilman
Second.
Cagalati and a second by Councilman Mason to save a little money, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice. Any discussion? Any objections? None. So moved. Item I, approval of substantial completion for asphaltic concrete reconstruction and overlay improvements 2019 Task 1. Councilwoman,
Mr. Chairman.
we have a motion by Councilman Lambert
Second.
and a second by Councilman Mason. Any discussion? Any objections? None, so moved. Item 5J, approval of substantial completion for asphaltic concrete reconstruction and overlay improvements 2019 Task 2.
Motion.
We have a motion by Councilman Cagalati
Second.
and a second by Councilman Mason. Any discussion? Any objection? None, so moved. Item K, approval of change order for change order MC-03, add 60 days to the 2019 asphalt overlay master contract.
Bagel has that last bit of work on task 3, so we just ran out of contract time, so we just need to add a few months so that they can finish up.
Yes.
Is this COVID related, or is this related to the COVID pandemic or not?
Mainly weather days.
Weather days.
Yeah.
I didn't think they stopped for the COVID.
Got it.
Motion.
We have a motion by Councilman Cagalati and a second by Councilman Lambert. Any discussion?
Just one.
Yes.
What are you finishing up, Tacey, on this?
The intersection of William Ficklin and Bro Road, evening out fixing the offset between William Ficklin and Tommy Moore and widening out those radiuses. Did you ask me when or what? Did you ask me when or what?
I remember
Sorry.
that, I think we had some drainage stuff that we worked on with
Yes,
you with this. I
correct.
wanted to make sure that they
That
finish
is
this
correct,
up.
yes, sir. They are putting in boxes and setting some studs, so everything will drain correctly.
Thank you.
Okay. And we have any further discussion? Any objections? None, so moved. Item L has been removed from the agenda previously. Item 6, motion to adjourn.
Motion to
We have a
adjourn,
motion
Chairman.
and a second. Any discussion, any objections? None, so moved. Thank